Hi, we just finished meeting for pronunciation practice on March 5th. I can't believe it's March. And I'm going to try recording with this format again with the small picture and bigger screen to see if that's easier for people to read. The reason I had changed it from this originally was that people wanted to see my mouth movements more. So let me know, is this better because you can see the words more clearly? Or is it better when I'm bigger and you can see my mouth movements more clearly? So let me know. I can do either one. Let's start with thread. So thread, make sure that you pull your tongue down and back so that your tongue curls back before it has a chance to hit the roof of the mouth and make a noise. If you hear then your tongue is touching. Thread, and it goes back to the D. There's not a big difference between thread and threat because you won't release the D or the T. That's what I'm using that little line to represent, is that you hold your tongue there. If a word ends with a voiced consonant, in this case, duh, duh has voicing, then the vowel will be a little longer, thread, than the word that might be exactly the same, except for the final sound is voiceless, t, t. So the vowel gets a little bit shorter, threat. But it's a tiny difference. Thread, threat, thread, threat. And you won't hear it if it's at the end of a sentence. Is that a thread, meaning duh? Is that a threat, meaning t? It will sound the same, so you need context. You will hear the D or the T if there's a vowel after it. There's a thread on the ground. Her thread is scary. However, this T is changing to a D because now it is between two vowels, so it won't sound like her threat is scary. Americans are going to change that T to a D, and now it'll sound like thread. So it does get very confusing. Context, you have to know the context. Threatened, you won't hear the T in the middle at all. Your tongue goes to the T position, threat, and then you hold it there. Don't release any air like threat. Hold it, threat, duh. You won't hear the D either. Threaten, threatened. Oath, oath. The only thing to notice about the O is that it should be the American O for American English. Oath, not just a pure O like oath. Oath. Remember that begins more in the position, your tongue low in the middle, and your lips not rounded. Oath to rounded. And sworn, we do hear the W, so your lips begin rounded. Sworn. And sword, we don't say the W, it's spelled with a W, and you do round your lips, but not as much, just sword. Think of it as sore. I have a sore arm plus a D. Mountain, this is another syllabic N where the N noise becomes its own syllable. You go up for the T for mount and hold it there, and then make the N noise. Mountain. And Amy brought up a good point. It's not wrong if you say mountain or threatened. It's just more correct than what Native American English speakers are saying. Mountain. Disease. D is not stressed, so it won't sound like D, disease. It'll be D or duh, either one, and it doesn't matter because it'll be shorter. Disease and diseases. Lots of Z practice. Schedule. This one, you stop the airflow with a J. Your tongue completely blocks the airflow, but then as you pull your tongue down and air starts going over it, it will sound like a zh. So if you hear that transition from a j to a zh, that's good. Schedule. You should be rounding your lips and that schedule. Schedule. Let me check my schedule. This you can pronounce two ways. Owl, like two parts. Owl. Or don't round your lips so much. Owl. Owl. Either way. If you say owl, you are maybe it'll help if you think of saying ow, like when you hit your arm. Ow. Owl. Lawn. This is like hot. Lawn. And for this one, the tongue ends in the front. Lawn. And if you are saying long, This is at NG, your tongue goes high in the back. Long. The difference between long and lung is the vowel in 15 is the again, low in the middle and pulled back. Lung, and the back of the tongue goes up high. Must, the past tense of must, which is to mess up, or must, is the same. Must, and you hold the T, must. We usually say must have, and then you make the have shorter as a contraction, must have. And then instead of you can just say So must have will sound like musta. Ah, that musta really sucked. Mustn't is not used very often in American English. I honestly never hear it. We usually say shouldn't. Instead of you mustn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Bleary and blurry. I had to look up the difference because I wasn't really sure. Bleary is your eyes being unfocused. In the morning when you're tired, your eyes are bleary. And you have, start with the L, bleary. So bleary. And 19, same position, but the vowel is blurry, blurry. And that means something is out of focus. Glowed. We have a lot of words today that ends with T's and D's. Glowed. Just hold that D. Glowed. Squealed. This looks like one syllable, but it's mostly two because your tongue's going high for the E and then sliding down for the Y. Squealed. It can be that you tell on maybe mom or dad or the cops that somebody is doing something wrong they shouldn't be doing, and you are tattletaling or squealed. So he squealed on me. He told mom I was doing something bad. It can also be a sound, like the sound tires make. The tires squealed as the car turned the corner. Definitely. Definitely. You won't hear that T at all because your tongue's going to the T position. Definitely. So just hold it there. Young. This is the vowel. Young. And the tongue goes up in the back for the ending, just like in the words lung, rung, sung. And the same vowel is repeated. Young, guns, young, blood. Even though these are spelled differently, it's the same vowel. Hiccuping, hiccuping, hiccuping. And if it's the thing you have, this is the action you are doing. I am hiccuping and I have the hiccups. Hiccups. It sounds kind of like a hiccup when you say that word. Hiccup. Hiccup. Jewelry. So I guess I usually spell it the way it sounds with just a UL, but it is actually the exact same sound. Just take out this E and have jewel because we're dropping the middle syllable, jewelry, making it two syllables. Jewelry. Make sure you hold your tongue in the L position long enough that it can be heard before you pull it back for the R. Jewelry. If you go too fast, jury. It sounds like number 26, jury. So jewelry around your lips, jury. And that's where we stopped. All right. Let me know which format you like better, this way with my smaller picture or the split screen with me on 1/3 and the spreadsheet on the bigger half. Let me know and I'll do it fast without stopping. Okay. Ah. Thread, threat, threaten, oath, sworn, sword, mountain, disease, diseases, schedule. Let me check my schedule. Owl or owl, lawn, lung, must. It must have really sucked. Mustn't. Bleary, blurry, glowed, squealed. He squealed on me. Definitely. Young, hiccuping, hiccups, jewelry, jury. That's it. Thanks. Hope this was helpful. And if it was, I hope you share it with a friend. Have a good day.